Hello everyone, good morning to one and all. Students, welcome back to today's online class of Standard 11 Fine Arts in DAV Public School Gumla. So this is yet another part of our Arts of Indus Valley Civilization, and today we are going to discuss the terracotta figurines from the Indus Valley Civilization. Okay, so let's start our today's topic, that is terracotta figurines from Indus Valley Civilization. After many decades of research, the Indus civilization is still something of an enigma, an ancient civilization with a writing system that still awaits convincing decipherment, monumental architecture whose function still eludes us, no monumental art, a puzzling decline, and little evidence of the identity of its direct descendants. In a civilization extending over an area so vast, we expect to find monumental art and or architectural symbols of power displaying the names of the powerful. Instead, we find an emphasis on small, elegant art and sophisticated craft technology. In this so called faceless civilization, three dimensional representations of living beings in the Harappan world are confined to a few stone and bronze statues and some small objects crafted in uh, stone and other materials, with one important exception, ranging in size from slightly larger than a human thumb to almost 30 centimeter, 1 foot in height. The anthropomorphic and so the anthropomorphic and the animal terracotta figurines from Harappa and other Indus civilization sites offer a rich reflection of some of the Harappan ideas about representing life in the Bronze Age. So now you can see some of the terracotta figurines from this period, Harappan period. Okay, so we will start and the terracotta figurines. So these are the more realistic in Gujarat sites and Kalibangan. In terracotta, we find a few figurines of bearded males with coiled hairs, their posture rigidly upright, legs slightly apart, and the arms parallel to the sides of the body. The repetition of these figure in exactly the same position would suggest that he was a deity. The terracotta figurines had a universal popularity in the ancient world, and the Harappan culture was no exception to this. So there are plenty of terracotta sails and figurines recovered from Harappan sites, which range from toys to cult objects such as mother goddess to birds and animals, including monkeys, dogs, sheep, cattle, both humped and humpless bulls. So these terracotta figurines of Indian Valley were modeled with great details of eyes, hand, and neck. However, the terracotta images are inferior in depiction of the human forms in comparison to the copper and bronze images of the Indus Valley. Among the human figurines, the female were more common. The headdress in such figurines is much more elaborated. Okay, so now we will discuss about the mother goddess, and here are some of the more examples from the terracotta figurines. A terracotta mask of a horned deity was also been found. Toy carts with wheel, whistles, rattles, bird and animals, gamesmen, and discs were also rendered in terracotta. The most important terracotta figures are those represent Mother Goddess. Okay, so let us start discussing about the Mother Goddess. So first figure is the Mother Goddess. Let me show you the figure of it. This is the figurine, terracotta figurine of Mother Goddess from Harappa, Punjab. And one more, you can see this one. It is a famous standing figure of the Mother Goddess. Okay. So the most important terracotta figure in the Indus Valley civilization is the figure of Mother Goddess, which you are just observing on your screen. Okay, this is that Mother Goddess, and this figure is crude standing female adorned with necklaces hanging over prominent breast and wearing a loin cloth and a girdle. The most distinct feature of the Mother Goddess figurines is a fan-shaped head, which you can see this one, the fan-shaped head, headdress with a cup-like projection on each side. Isn't it? There is a cup-like projection on each side of it. See? So the most distinct feature of this figure goddess or Mother Goddess figurine is a fan-shaped headdress with a cup-like projection on each side, and rest of the facial projection, the rest of the figures are very crude and distant from being realistic. Okay, so now let us discuss something more about this one. Mainly it is found in Mohenjo-daro. These figures are usually crude standing figures adorned with necklaces hanging over the prominent breast and wearing a loincloth and a grid. Okay, the fan-shaped headdress with the cup-like projection on each side is a distinct decorative feature of the Mother Goddess. The palette, eyes, and beaked nose of the figure are very crude, constructed in a rudimentary way. Mouth is indicated by a narrow opening. So astonishingly, on it, this terracotta figure represents a female divinity now unanimously identified as the Mother Goddess, perhaps a votive image, maybe. People's reverence for the real birth giving mother or for the earth for all her bounties was in the root of the worshipping a deity who was primarily the mother and a female in general. Otherwise, also the cult of a female worship, coupled with the fertility cult, seems to have been deep rooted in India's soil itself. The recovery of a large number of Mother Goddess figurines almost from every excavated site suggests that the Mother Goddess worship cult was very widespread during Indus days. The figurine has been cast with an elaborate headgear supported by a pair of bands and a brooch, tight-fitted short tunic with skirt fastened with a broad waistband with a medallion like a clasp, and tight-fitted trousers, necklace, ear ornaments. This large size figurine from Mohenjo-daro is an excellent example of the technical maturity that Harappan artisans had acquired in clay modeling and baking. The coating of the thick red slip seems to have been applied not to just add luster or finish, but perhaps also for protecting its surface from erosion. The fan-shaped headdress is like a large pannier cup which hung on either side might have been conceived like oil lamps or incense trays, though with no marks of soot. It seems it was not used as one. The figure of the mother goddess has been adorned with two necklaces. Smaller one has a set of four cylindrical pendants, and while the longer one hangs between the breasts, and the eyes have been conceived with two round pallets of clay and the nose as pinched. Okay, so that what about this was about the standing figure of the mother goddess. So now we'll discuss about the seals of this particular period. Thousands of seals were discovered from the sites, and usually made up of steatite and occasionally of agate, chert, coppers, faience, and terracotta with beautiful figures of animals such as unicorn, bull, rhinoceros, tiger, elephant, bison, goat, buffalo, etc. The purpose was mainly commercial. Okay, so they were also used as amulets carried on the person of their owners, perhaps as modern identity cards. And the standard Harappan seal was 2 by 2 square inches. Every seal is engraved in a pictograph. Every seal is engraved in a pictographic script which is yet to be deciphered. So some seals were also being found in gold and ivory. And this is the Pashupati's Mahadev's seal, or you can say the seals of Pashupati Mahadev. So you just observe this seal properly, and now we'll discuss about it. This Pashupati seal is a steatite seal that was discovered at the Mohenjo-daro archaeological sites of the Indus Valley civilization. The seal depicts a seated figure that is possibly having three heads, and the tricephalic. It was tricephalic means the having three heads. The seal depicts a seated figure that is possibly tricephalic and having three heads. It was once thought to be epiphallic, an interpretation that is now mostly discarded. The man has a horned headdress and is surrounded by animals. You can see just here. The headdress is surrounded by several animals, and it is a horned headdress. He may represent a horned deity. The seal is kept in the National Museum of India in New Delhi. It has one of the most complicated designs in the thousands of seals from the Indus Valley civilization, and is unusual in having a human figure as the main and largest element. In most seal that is an animal, it has been claimed to be one of the earliest depictions of the Hindu god Shiva, or a proto Shiva deity, and the name given to the seal is Pasupati. Okay, so this is about the Pasupati seal, and I hope you have all understood it. So we will again take some other topics in the next class. Till then, have a good day. Thank you.